Hi, I'm Mandi Pryor, and welcome to Spotlight on Pittsburgh. Spotlight on Pittsburgh is a program about Pittsburgh's most fascinating people and what they do to make our city an amazing place to live and work. When we come back, I'll introduce you to Laura Coe, president and founder of Snapology. Later on, we'll bring you owner of Duck Donuts Pittsburgh, Andrew Jarusinsky. See you back here in a minute.
Our family was drifting apart until we found a connection.
You have the power to change your child's life. The Boys Town National Hotline can help.
Hi, and welcome back. Laura, thank you so much for joining me on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
So what can you tell me about Snapology?
Oh my goodness, where to start? So we started about 8 years ago, and the whole idea is that we want to bring hands-on, interactive learning to children. So it's basically STEM education, and the idea of STEM education, or STEAM as they call it now, is that the kids are problem solving and they're doing critical thinking while they're learning engineering and science and technical concepts. So what we do at Snapology is we make it super fun. So what's more fun than Lego and Kinects and iPads and drones? And so we use these familiar toys with the children in unfamiliar ways to teach them these educational concepts.
And so how did you get started? I mean, tell me your story, I guess, your backstory.
Yeah, so I've actually owned a couple businesses in the past, and when I have two little boys, well, they're not so little anymore. I had two little boys 8 years ago when we started, and I was looking for a business opportunity, but at the same time I was trying to find activities for my sons. And my older son in particular, his name is Sebastian, was really into Lego bricks and really into building, and both my sons are really into history and museums. They're academic kids. And they didn't really have a ton of interest in sports and organized activities. So I wanted to find something that was academic but yet social as well. And sure. I was challenged. I really had a tough time finding too much out there, particularly for boys, where they could do that. And so that's kind of how the idea was born. I was watching my son playing with Legos, and as I was Googling and trying to find activities, I had found robotics that you can do. There were folks across the country doing birthday parties and engineering, and I had no idea how ramped up Legos had gotten over the years. And so that was really the impetus. There was really nothing for my boys to do, and I wanted to create something where they could really thrive. And we started offering a couple robotics programs in some of the local rec centers here in Pittsburgh, and it just took off. Apparently I wasn't the only parent in that situation. And so so it really just kind of snowballed and grew from there, and we just started adding more and more programs. So it's more of an
organic transition than setting forward from the first minute and saying, we're just going to open up different Snapologies.
That's right, yeah, it was really organic. In fact, in the first 3 to 6 months, it grew so quickly here in Pittsburgh that I started to realize, oh my goodness, we're onto something here. And I started to document everything that I was doing, and I wrote what is now what's called our operations manual for our other franchises. But about 6 months, 9 months in, I realized that we had a concept that we could expand in some way, either via licensing or franchising, and we really started to develop the franchise then.
And so how many franchises do you have in place now?
We have 56 franchises, and we're in 5 different countries.
Wow, so you've really expanded.
Yeah, it's
Pittsburgh, but I love that it's a Pittsburgh-based company.
Yeah, I mean, Pittsburgh is a great city. It's been absolutely wonderful for us. We have our headquarters here. We've got an amazing staff of people. There's so many talented people in this area, so it's been a great place for us to kind of have our roots. And I kind of call it the 6 degrees of Pittsburgh. It seems like a lot of our owners, at least the owners here in the U.S., have some connection back to Pittsburgh. They've got family here. They went to school here. And so a lot of them actually found out about Snapology here in Pittsburgh and then wanted to take it back to whatever city they were now living in.
That's great. What types of I guess I was going to ask the next question, like what types of locations usually take them on. But what are you offering at these Snapologies? Are they kind of the same across the board, that if you go to one Snapology, it's going to have the same program as another one?
Yeah, it's a great question. So we have set curriculum in place. And the curriculum is meant to be both fun and academic, so kind of an equal mix. So it doesn't feel like school, it kind of feels like you're there to have fun. So we want all of our locations to sort of have that same feel. So we have about 60 different programs that we offer in terms of classes and camps, and so all of our locations offer those 60 programs. So there's a lot of uniformity there. But then when it comes to birthday parties and when it comes to some of the more lighter activities, there's a little bit of variation, but we try to keep as much consistency as we can across the country. Now, what you will find differences is some locations are mobile or community-based, and others have what we call a discovery center. So in the U.S., we have 50 locations, and 45 of them are community-based, meaning they go into schools and rec centers and libraries, and they offer all of their programs out in the community. 5 of our locations in the U.S., soon to be 7 actually, we've got two more that are doing it, have a physical discovery center where the children can actually come to them. And we do the classes and the camps and the parties there as well, but there's also sort of an open area.
You have a brick and mortar now.
Exactly.
In a location for yourselves.
Yeah, and the kids can explore, and it's all hands-on learning, and it's all different types of activities. And we've tried to introduce some technology in there, so the kids start to, they're learning the science, they're learning the engineering, but it's all play. It's all interactive, hands-on.
And since it is summer just about, you're offering some summer camp activities as well. Can you tell me a little bit about those and what they'll offer out to the community?
Yeah, absolutely. We're really excited about summer. I was actually just talking with my leadership team earlier today. We have a ton of summer programs going on all over Pittsburgh, including a program that's wonderful called Summer Dreamers down in the city of Pittsburgh Public Schools. And then we have programs out in the suburban areas as well. And the kids come in, and it's a nice mix of sort of structured activities along with some free time to just sort of explore and express themselves. And in our brand new location in Bridgeville, we actually have an outdoor exploring
That's nice.
area. Yeah, so it'll have a little bit of your playground feel, but it'll also have the building type activities and some more cerebral type activities outside, other than just sort of the swings and slides and those types of things.
Well, and I think that it's important, as myself as a mother and as you are, you want your kid to go outside during the summer when you're at work or wherever you have to be to play outside, to get in the fresh air while they still can, while hopefully having an educated experience and not completely just, running free for all throughout the summer camp.
Absolutely, so. Yeah, that's kind of what we're going for there, sort of the mix, the balance. They can play outside and they can run around. I'm sure they'll run around and get their energy out, but then there are those activities where they can really sort of engage, and really we try to do as much teamwork as we can too. So when they're outside, the hope is that they're not just playing on a swing or doing something by themselves. Everything we have is team-based. So we have a big giant swing, but it's meant for 4 or 5 people to be on at a time. So everything's sort of collaborative as well.
And of course, no arguing. They'll never argue doing teamwork, right?
Well, not too much.
That's part of it.
It's fun,
yeah.
So at least it cuts down on that.
And so what age groups is Snapology appropriate for, or their summer camps are appropriate for?
So the summer camps are 4 to 14. Our discovery centers, the open play, go down as young as 1. As soon as the kids are walking and moving around, there's activities for them to do. But the summer camps...
so you don't have like the 14-year-olds playing with the 4-year-olds?
No. Our 14-year-olds are doing advanced robotics and drones and, really, really cool sort of advanced stuff. And our 4-year-olds are... they're doing, sort of junior engineering or, maybe an easier, story time kind of activities.
Yeah, and so you brought out some models. Is this some of the stuff that they might encounter at a Snapology?
It is, yes, yes. So we have a couple different categories. We have 6 different categories. I brought 3 different with me here. The most fun one are our themed programs. So you can see a little guy made a Batman here, and then another little guy made a Spider-Man. So we don't give them a template. We show them a picture maybe, or honestly, it's a superhero. They know what Batman looks like. They just build it from their imagination, and it teaches them spatial recognition and different things like that. So our themed programs are meant to be super fun, but at the same time, some of them are building and engineering and that kind of thing.
Yeah, because you have more complicated things that, I'm sure that teenagers would like more.
That's right, that's right. This is actually a preschool robotics helicopter. So a 4-year-old can build this. So we obviously have a structured program. We give them a lot of guidance. But our 4, 5, and 6-year-olds are building these. It actually connects via Bluetooth to a computer, and then it'll work. It'll actually spin and work. And they're learning the gears and all of that kind of stuff there.
Well, that's certainly more complicated, I think, than the Legos I used to play with.
It's amazing. It really, truly is amazing what you can do with these toys nowadays and how they've done that. I mean, Lego is an amazing company with what they've done.
Wonderful. Well, we'll bring you back out here in a little bit. Thank you so much, Laura. To find out more, please go to pittsburgh.snapology.com. When we return, we'll bring out the owner of the first Duck Donuts location ever in Pittsburgh.
Sometimes it's hard to see where you're going, but you have the power to change your problems. All it takes is courage. YourLifeYourVoice.org.
And welcome back. Thanks so much, Andrew, for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me, Mandi.
So, Duck Donuts. I need to know more. I need to know what it is.
So Duck Donuts is, it's a funny story. I was taking my family on vacation into the Outer Banks, and we were talking with some friends about our trip, and everyone started mentioning, you have to get Duck Donuts while you're there. So when we got there, we finally did, and I wasn't a huge fan of donuts, but when I went in and I saw and I smelled the donuts being made, and I saw that they were customized the way you wanted them, and they were served fresh and warm, and it was a fun atmosphere. That's how I happened upon Duck Donuts, and that was in 2010.
2010. So when did you open your Pittsburgh location then?
So the years went by, and we visited the Outer Banks for the next 5 years, I think, and our fascination and our affinity for Duck Donuts grew as we went back. So in 2015, I thought, I've ran into people that I knew from Pittsburgh in the Outer Banks, or met people there from Pittsburgh.
It's one of the top vacation spots,
sure
I would
is.
say, for Pittsburghers.
Mm-hmm. And so, I just thought, I saw a little sign that they were franchising. So I came home and looked on their site, and I found out that they were headquartered outside of Harrisburg in Mechanicsburg, PA, and submitted an application and went out and visited their corporate office, which is only a few hours away from us, and here we are. It took about 2 years to get us up and running, finding the right location. We've been there a year this year in June.
And you're in Upper St. Clair, correct?
In Upper St. Clair, directly across from South Hills Village at the corner of Fort Couch and 19.
That's a good location.
It is.
Up and growing too, right?
Sure is.
And so what makes your donuts special?
So the donuts themselves are vanilla cake based. They are made to order. So we have a variety of toppings, coatings, and drizzles where you can come in and make them any way you want. The kids get to watch, or everybody gets to watch and be a kid as they watch the process go from dough to as it's being made, as it's being topped, and as it's being served warm every time.
So you're just not getting like a box set of donuts.
These are not. These are customized, and these are as individual as you want to make them. And we've seen anything from a bear donut to every topping that we have.
And so what are some of the toppings? I know you kind of have
So we do a seasonal icing. We're in the midst of, for the spring it was key lime. We're launching orange for the summer. And we've got some standards, cinnamon sugar, vanilla, chocolate. All of our fruit icings have fruit in them. So we've got blueberry, lemon, again, orange, some of the more favorites. And then we've got graham, peanuts, we've got coconut.
all kinds of
drizzles.
things.
All of our icings could be used as drizzles. So the possibilities are endless.
And so is this just for kids though?
Absolutely not. I think, as I mentioned, everybody can be a kid when they come and visit us. So it's for everybody and anybody.
Good. And so, what do you like most about having this kind of franchise and offering it to the community?
Well, I think it's something unique to Pittsburgh. I think to some degree the brand is recognized in the area, and it's a place where they can come and have fun. It's what I thought about opening a business like this was it was somewhere fun. It wasn't like someone was visiting.
You didn't
the
want like a
dentist office.
corporate stuffy
I do that in my other life. So I wanted something that was fun and that people would come in and enjoy and would have a good time with.
And you do stuff outside of, just having donuts, correct?
We do. We have breakfast sandwiches that are made on a donut or on an English muffin. We do all kinds of espresso, coffee, drinks, teas. We do a lot of catering. In fact, donuts have become very popular at weddings, at corporate events. So we're doing a lot of catering as well.
And they're smaller, right?
They are not. They're 3.5.
They're the same?
Well, we call them, regular sized donut, about 3.5 inches.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wants a mini donut that's delicious, right?
You need to have more.
Like a donut this big, just come in anyway. And then you do catering and you do corporate parties and weddings. Is there anything else community-based that you're involved with?
Well, one of the things that I really liked about the franchise, and they really encouraged, was having being part of the community, and that was what I was looking for in a business where I could give something back. So we have a program called Quack Gives Back, where we selected local charity each month, and we donate a portion of our sales to that charity. We ask that they, we want to create awareness for the charity as well as make a financial contribution. So that's been fun, and this is our 11th month, so we've done 11 charities so far.
And so how does Quack give back? It gives back to individual charities or a specific?
It's there's a nomination process which can be found on our website at duckdonuts.com. An organization can nominate themselves. It's reviewed. We select a charity, and there is promotions that we do with them, where they can come in and their sign's always posted. Their information is available, and at the end of the month, we make a contribution.
So it's like a fundraising opportunity.
It is, and it's really to I think create awareness to some degree, where there's information available and also we want to again give back to local charities.
Local charities.
Right.
And so how many different Duck Donuts are there now? I mean, obviously
right now,
it's not just in North Carolina, it's North Carolina, correct?
Well,
Duck?
it started in Duck, North Carolina, in the Outer Banks. Right now there's 60 locations nationwide.
Wow.
As far as the West Coast, we just heard that there was an agreement put together for Santiago, Chile. So international now. But yeah, there's 60 locations. Yeah.
And you said there might be a second location coming up, or is that
in the
still
Pittsburgh area?
Mum's word?
We're looking for spaces. We're hoping to have the location number 2 up and running sometime next year.
And so, what do you see for summer 2018?
Hopefully we have good weather, but so the business has continued to grow for us. We've selected our charities through the months of the summer. We want to be more involved in the community, so there's a number of events that we'll be participating in, and hopefully we'll have a nice,
getting out there,
fun summer. Yeah.
And what's the best way? I mean, what are your hours of operation? Where can they go to find you?
So we're open 7 days a week, from 6:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. Summer hours, so we just extended our hours. Open every day. We take online orders. We take call ahead orders. So there's a variety of ways that they can connect, and everything's on our website.
And here's the million-dollar question. What's your favorite donut flavor?
My first was the maple bacon, which is still probably up there for me.
I was going to ask if you guys
yes.
had bacon, because that's kind of the thing of the year.
That's become our most popular donut. I love the seasonals because I like something that's a little different. French toast is one of my favorites. Maple, cinnamon, powdered sugar, it's probably my favorite.
That's pretty good. I would agree. That sounds wonderful. And any surprise flavors that maybe you wouldn't find anywhere else?
We've made some recommendations for some different types of icings, but really the concept is to keep it very simple. We don't do things like gummy worms, and we don't do oddball things for donuts. It's very simple, basic, classic flavors.
Yeah.
We want to stay relevant by introducing
new things. Well, you want it to stay maybe tasting good when sometimes if you go too far off.
Sometimes, yeah.
It's more fun, but
I think so.
Yeah. And so you're online, you're on Facebook. Which ways are there to reach you then?
Facebook page, Duck Donuts Pittsburgh, duckdonuts.com, and there's a Pittsburgh site where you can put in you can place your online orders there. We also have a section of the website that's dedicated to our store.
Good. And is there anything else that I haven't touched on that possibly you would want to elaborate on more?
I think if you're interested in, even if you're not a fan of donuts, check us out. It's a unique experience. I think it touches all the senses when you visit the store and really see the process. And they're best to get them when they're warm.
And so do you think that in Pittsburgh that Duck Donuts is now, not just a North Carolina thing? You think it's been fully adopted in our area?
We've been welcomed because I think there's so many fans that knew the brand. So it's been a great year. We're so appreciative of the fans and of the people that we've met and of meeting all the new friends that we've made. So it's been fun.
And are you popping in anywhere that we'll be able to see you soon?
Well, we have the race coming up for Pittsburgh Melanoma Foundation, which is the middle of the month of June. They will be our charity for the month of June, so we'll be there supporting them as well.
That's wonderful. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming on. We'll bring you back out here in a
Okay.
minute for our challenge, which always makes them a little nervous. Thank you, Andrew, and the donuts are definitely up there on my summer must-have list. We will return with a little fun challenge for both of my guests in a moment.
Here's something we bet you didn't know. Nearly half of all cancers can be prevented, mostly by making changes in your diet, controlling your weight, and of course, by not smoking. Visit prevent50.org and get a free 30-day planner filled with tips, recipes, and more.
Right, and we're back, and it's my favorite part of the show. I mean, the interviews were great, and I'm so glad that I got to know everything about both of your businesses. Now, you guys were neighbors, are neighbors, have been neighbors?
We're close.
You're close.
We are.
Yeah.
Good. So then you have no problem working together, right? She encourages people to do teamwork.
That's right.
Well, this isn't really teamwork. This is like you versus you.
Uh-oh.
So as you can see, I have two giant, thank my 2-year-old for these, two giant Mega Block sets, comparable size. So what I'd like to do, and I don't even have a timer, so I'm just going to have to do this in my head, is give you each, I had to bring you both together somehow for teamwork. You're each going to have 30 seconds to build a duck out of Mega Blocks. So however you have to do this, here's your bin, here is your bin. 30 seconds to bring ducks and the Legos together.
Nice.
Do you guys think you can handle it?
I don't know. I'm at a disadvantage here. I'll give it a try.
All right. On your mark. Get set. Go. Andrew's off to a fast start.
Yeah.
Laura may have the tools to get this done, from her experience.
My duck skills might not be as. What does a duck look like? I don't know.
You're just moving Andrew's away from him. All right, we're going to give you 10 seconds.
Oh no.
All right, 20 seconds. You kind of want it to look like a duck at the
Mine
end
looks
of
like
this,
a
right?
frog, I think. I'm going for a frog duck here.
And 5,
Uh-oh.
4, 3, 2, 1. All right. All right, so let's hold these up.
I think
Let's
mine's
see.
a kangaroo, maybe. I'm not sure what animal it is.
Now, I hate to say it, but she might have had the advantage. I think Laura's might look a little bit more like a duck.
I think so too.
Yours is a really good robot, though.
I know. It is.
It's harder than it
He
looks.
could be like holding, so if
No,
you
that's
hold
his
it this way, he
wings.
could be holding a donut
That's
right
true.
on there.
That's
so,
perfect.
all right, well, we'll
Nice
call it a
job.
draw, I guess, for today. Well, is there any other questions that you two have for one another about what you've learned, I guess, about each other's businesses here on the show today?
No, I'm fascinated. We've been a big fan of Duck Donuts for a long time. We've partnered with them a couple of times, and I'm a big fan of the maple bacon myself. So.
Oh, good.
Oh, thank
Good.
you. Thank you.
I actually am a fan of the maple bacon myself, so that's that. Everybody get out there, try the maple bacon. It's definitely the one to beat, I
We'll
guess.
keep them warm for you.
But you got to try the orange. It's coming
Absolutely.
out this summer. Anyway, Well, thank you, Laura, and thank you, Andrew,
Thank
so much
you.
for being on the
Thank
show
you.
and going along with my, my crazy challenge. I know that I surprised you with that one. So, find out more online. Thank you both for joining us on this episode of Spotlight on Pittsburgh, and thank you all for watching. Please follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Spotlight on Pittsburgh, and join us again when we shine the spotlight on 2 new guests.